Hello, mathematicians. Welcome to another math lesson with me, Miss Taylor. I'm glad you're here. Alrighty, are we ready? Do we have our fact practice packet? Got mine under here. Textbook, workbook, paper, pencil, all those good things. And today you are going to need your ruler. So if you don't have your ruler, you might want to pause the video. We're going to need our ruler, and then you might want to ask an adult at your house if you have a yardstick at your house, because today we're going to be learning about feet. One ruler is called 1 foot. So we're going to learn about feet, or just 1 foot. And then we're also going to learn about yards. And I have a yardstick here. And it is about this long. And my camera is, I'm not sure if you can see me in this. I hope you can, but this is a yardstick. And this is a meter stick. So I know we learned about centimeters and meters before. And one way that we can remember which is bigger, we have the mighty meter. It's mighty. The wimpy yard. Now the yard's not really that wimpy. It's just a little bit shorter than a meter. And this is a way we can remember. Because if I hold them both up, you can see that a meter stick is a little bit longer and a yardstick is a little shorter. So if you do have a yardstick at home, we're going to do some fun measuring around your house with a yardstick. If you don't have one, that's okay, but you might want to ask an adult to help you find a yardstick. Maybe in your garage you might have one. But anywho, all right, today we are going to start with our fact practice like we always do. And today is December 3rd. It's the month of December. Isn't that exciting? And we are looking at page 13 in our fact practice packet. And even though today we're going to start learning about yards and feet, this is some really good review for us with centimeters. So, and then actually tomorrow we're going to learn about these bigger units called inches that are about 2 fingers long. But for today, for warm up, I should say, for fact practice, let's go ahead and look at our centimeter side. And remember, centimeter, there's about 30 of them on a ruler. And they're about the width of a finger. For me, it's how wide my pinky is. But that would kind of vary from person to person. All right, so this is how we measure with centimeters. So we line up the bar with the 0 mark, and that's that little line there. And then we see, where does the bar end? And it ends right here. It's 7 centimeters long. So I did the first couple for you. It would still be a good idea for you to line these up and make sure you see where the 7 is, and make sure these make sense. So these are kind of examples to help you and to guide your thinking. So here we'll line it up with the 0, and then where it ends, right here at the 14. So 14 cm, 14 centimeters. Then one more I did as an example. And we can see there it's 9 centimeters. Let's do one more together. So if I line this one up, and the tricky part is getting it lined up right at that 0 mark. And then where it stops, this one is just a teeny tiny bit past the 16, but it's closest to 16 centimeters. 17 centimeters would be right here. See this long line here? So it is very close to the 16. So with this one, I'm going to write 16 cm, centimeters. And then after you finish measuring this page, this is page 13, remember you can check the back side. So I can see here, let's see, yep, it's about 16 centimeters. And there I had 16 centimeters. So remember, after you finish, to go ahead and check the back side. It's really good for our brains to get that immediate, it's called immediate feedback. And then we know, because if we did this one wrong, we don't want to go ahead and do the whole rest of the page wrong. We want to notice our mistakes, don't we? So, in fact, it might be a good idea for you just to do a couple of these and then check the backside. And that way we don't have to do if we're making a mistake, we can catch our mistake. So that is our fact practice for today. Then we are going to look at page 70 in our textbook. And it says measuring length in yards and feet. So we've already learned about meters, we've learned about centimeters. Now we're learning about yards and feet. And it says, measure your teacher's desk with a yardstick. Well, we're not in the classroom right now, so we can't measure my desk. But like I said, if you do have a yardstick at home, it's a little bit shorter than a meter stick. You could kind of walk around your house and measure some things. Now, normally if we're in the classroom, I would give you, actually, I have more meter sticks than yardsticks, but we would have some yardsticks and I would let you kind of walk around the classroom and find things that are about a meter wide or about a meter tall. Sorry, not a meter, we're doing yards. Usually we do it with a meter stick because I have more of those, but what I meant was you could walk around the classroom and see about some things, try to find some things that are about 1 yard wide or about 1 yard tall. So you can do that by putting the yardstick on the floor and seeing where does it go. So you might want to do this at your house. You could walk around and try to find some things, maybe a table, maybe a desk, maybe some kind of a toy or some other piece of furniture that might be a yard tall or a yard wide, like that. Alrighty, so then let's see. Oh, it says to measure your height with a yardstick. Are you taller than 1 yard or shorter than 1 yard? So again, if you have a yardstick, you could set it up on the ground and then you could see where does the yardstick come to on your body. So when I stand up, the yardstick comes, I can kind of feel like my hip bone right here. It comes up to my hip. But you can think about, where does the yardstick go when I measure it on my body? I remember when I used the meter stick to measure, I have my meter stick here. The meter stick often comes to my belly button. So when I stand up and I have my meter stick, I can feel my belly button right there. So you might want to think about, how tall am I with a yardstick? How tall am I with a meter stick? So they're very similar. Then it says the yard is a unit of length. We write YD for yard. So the abbreviation for yard is YD. Then let's see, another idea that we could do, it says to cut a string 1 foot long. So now what we can do is we can take our ruler, because a ruler is the same as 1 foot. So what you can do is you can get your ruler and you can try to find a piece of string and then try to cut a piece of string that's 1 foot long. And if you don't have a piece of string, you could just use your ruler and you could kind of walk around the house and try to find things that are about 1 foot long. So right now I'm looking at my water bottle and I'm thinking, is this a foot? No, it's a bit, my water bottle's a bit shorter than 1 foot. What else? What about this piece of paper? Oh, that's a bit shorter than 1 foot. Okay. I know something. I have a reading workbook here that I was looking at. Maybe my reading workbook is, pretty close, getting closer to 1 foot. So you could kind of walk around and see if you can find some things that are 1 foot wide or 1 foot tall. And it says the foot is a unit of length. If we have more than 1 foot, we call them feet. We write FT for foot or feet. So if you see this FT, if there's only one of them, you would say 1 foot. But if there's 2 or 3 or 4, you would say 4 feet. Just like we say for our feet that are on the bottom of our legs. All right. Let's see, one other thing that we're going to look at, it says, cut a string 1 foot long. Cut a string 1 yard long. Place the two strings side by side. And again, if you don't have a string, you could use your ruler. So you could set up a ruler. And then if you had a yardstick, you could try to do that. But if you don't have a yardstick, another thing you could do, because, well, let's finish reading this and then we'll talk about it. It says, which string is longer? Cut several strings, each 1 foot long. How many 1 foot strings do you need to match the length of the 1 yard string? Ooh. So this is something that's kind of fun. If you have a ruler and if you cut a piece of string to be 1 foot long, then you can see how many feet do you need in a yard. Because the cool thing is, I bet you could make a prediction. Even just by looking at this picture, I bet we could make a pretty good prediction. So how many feet do you think are in 1 yard? Well, let's see, 1 foot, that would be about 2. What would that be? Yeah, 3. Excellent, nice job. So 1 yard is equal to 3 feet. Yeah, so if you have a ruler, 3 of these rulers are the same as 1 yard. So if you happen to have 3 rulers, that'd be kind of a fun thing to do. Usually if we're in the classroom, I would show you this, and I would hold up 3 rulers, and then you could see that 3 rulers are the same as 1 yard. 1, kind of flip it over, 2, whoops, this would be 2, and then 3. So 1 yard is the same as 3 feet, or 3 rulers. Now, there is actually no homework for today, scholars, so nothing to do in your workbook. We'll have a workbook page for tomorrow, but you might want to listen to Miss Roude's story about how we got the name Foot. And it's kind of a funny story. It's fiction, but it is definitely a funny story about a king and how we wanted something ordered for his daughter, I think. But kind of a fun story. So no homework for today. Just spend some time measuring with yards and feet around your house. And if you don't have a yardstick, just use your ruler and you could measure some things around your house to see how many things are 1 foot wide or 1 foot tall. And have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you again tomorrow. And we'll learn a little bit more about feet and then also inches. Bye.